I know I'm his daughter. Like, I can't shake that, and I have no desires to. It's amazing being my father and my mother's child. To make my own lane, I think I kind of had to step in his spotlight a little bit and just acknowledge it versus shying away from it, but also understanding, like, hey, those are big shoes to fill, and I don't want to fill them.
Okay, awesome. So, looking at the roster, who are some of your favorite players with the Aces?
Asia Wilson and Jackie Young.
So in 10 years, I want to win an Oscar. I'm not sure for what Oscar category, but I definitely, that's on my list.
What was the best say you ever had?
Definitely the day that my name got legalized. Officially Zaya.
He says this thing to me called hoop over hype, which is something that I love. Accolades are cool, like hype is cool, but like that's not why I play basketball. That's not why I fell in love with the game.
So my dad and I would always watch as many movies as we can, and we'd go on movie marathons, and then we'd also analyze as many movies as we can, and we'd talk about it for months.
These are the real lives behind the daughters of NBA legends. From Zaya Wade becoming one of the youngest transgender voices in international media, to Riley Curry stealing the show during NBA Finals press conferences at the age of 2. Gianna Bryant, man, we must begin with a tale that completely rocked the world. The second daughter of the renowned Kobe Bryant and Vanessa Bryant, Gianna Maria Honora Bryant was born in Los Angeles, California on May 1st, 2006. It was evident that basketball was ingrained in Shorty from the moment she was able to walk, as if it were part of her DNA. Growing up with her sisters Natalia, Bianca, and Capri in a home where basketball prowess was not only expected but openly celebrated, Gigi took an intense interest in the game that reflected her father's well-known Mamba mindset.
Okay, awesome. So, looking at the roster, who are some of your favorite players with the Aces?
Asia Wilson and Jackie Young.
She proudly wore the moniker Mamba Cheetah, which was a nod to her father's famous Black Mamba moniker. Gigi became a truly remarkable young baller at Harbor Day School, and then the Mamba Sports Academy. Her competitive fire burned as brightly as her father's, her shooting was accurate, and her defensive instincts were razor sharp. Everyone who saw Shorty play knew that her dreams of playing for UConn and eventually joining the WNBA were realistic. Then came January 26, 2020, a date that sports fans everywhere will always remember. While traveling to a youth basketball tournament, Gigi, her father, and 7 other people perished in a helicopter crash when she was just 13 years old. The world truly came to a halt. Outside the Staples Center, memorials appeared. Millions of people lamented the passing of a legend and his daughter, whose potential was never fully realized.
So in 10 years, I want to win an Oscar. I'm not sure for what Oscar category, but I definitely, that's on my list.
Natalia Bryant. Born on January 19, 2003 in Los Angeles, Natalia Diamante Bryant was the eldest of Kobe and Vanessa's 4 daughters. When tragedy struck, she had to find a way to honor her father and sister's legacies while everyone else grieved with them. Natalia, who is now 22 years old and on the verge of turning 23, has turned her grief into artistic endeavors that would have greatly pleased her parents. She received her degree from USC's School of Cinematic Arts in May of 2025.
So my dad and I would always watch as many movies as we can, and we'd go on movie marathons, and then we'd also analyze as many movies as we can, and we'd talk about it for months.
The same love of films that her father had fostered in her throughout her early years is now blossoming. In a stunning full-circle moment that linked her past and present, she even made her creative director debut for a Los Angeles Lakers short film that included archival footage of Kobe. But Natalia's path isn't limited to films. She joined IMG Models in 2021 and has since walked the runways at Milan Fashion Week, graced campaigns for Versace and Bulgari, and even interned for Beyoncé's Parkwood Entertainment during the Renaissance World Tour. She has maintained a close relationship with the Mamba and Mamba Cheetah Sports Foundation throughout it all, supporting youth empowerment while maintaining a degree of privacy that allows her to grieve on her own terms. Jasmine Jordan. What does it mean to be the daughter of the greatest basketball player in history? Born in Chicago, Illinois on December 7, 1992, Jasmine Michael Jordan had to struggle for years with her father Michael Jordan's godlike status before she could finally forge her own identity.
I know I'm his daughter. Like, I can't shake that, and I have no desires to. It's amazing being my father and my mother's child. To make my own lane, I think I kind of had to step in his spotlight a little bit and just acknowledge it versus shying away from it, but also understanding like, hey, those are big shoes to fill, and I don't want to fill them.
Growing up with brothers Jeffrey and Marcus, Jasmine was brought up in a home where excellence was simply inherited. However, she took a completely different route instead of attempting to walk in her parents' enormous shoes. Jasmine began her career at Nike's Jordan brand as a field representative, scouting WNBA talent after earning a degree in sports management from Syracuse University. She eventually advanced to manage operations and partnerships with athletes like Aerial Powers. Jasmine, who is currently 33 years old, publicly identifies as a member of the LGBTQ+ community. In 2018, she became engaged to former NBA player Rakeem Christmas. When you think about it, Michael Jordan becomes a grandfather for the first time when they have a son named Rakeem Michael Christmas. In addition to working for the Jordan brand, she co-owns a sneaker store and has amassed a personal collection of more than 500 pairs of shoes. Corey Bird. To put it mildly, not all father-daughter relationships in NBA history have been idyllic. The only biological child of Larry Bird from his brief first marriage to Janet Condra is Corey Diane Bird, who was born in Brazil, Indiana on August 14, 1977. Furthermore, Corey's relationship with her father was anything but legendary for the majority of her life. When Corey was still a baby in 1976, Larry and Janet broke up, and Larry essentially stopped being involved in his daughter's life. The unpleasant absence was exacerbated by a terrifying event in which Corey was briefly abducted as a baby. In a book that exposed all the complex family dynamics, Corey publicly criticized her father's lack of involvement in 1993. However, time, as it usually does, brought about some healing. At the age of 48, Corey has established a life entirely apart from her father's basketball celebrity. After earning a degree in elementary education from Indiana State University in 1999, she went on to work as a manager in the healthcare industry in Indiana. She married Trent Batson in 2008, and the two of them have 2 kids. Since then, she has concentrated on providing her family with the support and care that she did not receive as a child. Corey and Larry's reconciliation has been subtle but significant. She has reconciled with her father's legacy while preserving her own unique identity, and she now attends family gatherings. Her story is one of perseverance, of a woman who refused to allow her birth circumstances to define who she would become. Elisa Johnson. Magic Johnson and Cookie Johnson pledged to raise Elisa Johnson with the same love and support as their biological children, Andre and EJ, when they adopted her on December 21, 1994, when she was only 3 days old. Elisa had access to opportunities that most people can only imagine while growing up in Beverly Hills, but she also had to deal with the particular difficulties that come with being a member of one of the most well-known families in America. Elisa started her own sunglasses company, Elisa Johnson Camares, in 2021 after completing her studies in fashion and business management at the Fashion Institute of Technology. The business made use of her years of internships and her sincere love of design to position her as a fashion influencer and independent model. She has also experimented with reality TV, making appearances on EJNYC, and giving her local fans a glimpse of her opulent lifestyle. However, there have been some difficult times in Elisa's journey. She managed to flee through a window during a terrifying home invasion in 2018 while intruders ran through her space. Instead of shattering her, the trauma of that event made her more determined. At the age of 31, Elisa now promotes family ties and mental health, using her position to inspire others to put their health first. Elisa Johnson has demonstrated that she is much more than just Magic's adopted daughter, with an estimated net worth of approximately $650 million from her various endeavors. She is an influencer, a businesswoman, and a survivor who overcame adversity. Cheryl Ford is a prime example of a daughter who completely dominated the sport her father made famous. NBA Hall of Famer Karl Malone and Benita Ford are the parents of Cheryl, who was born in Homer, Louisiana, on June 6, 1981. Cheryl, who was raised mostly by her mother and twin brother Daryl, didn't even discover who her father was until she was 8 years old. To put it mildly, Carl had very little influence over her life. However, Cheryl continued to develop into an absolute beast on the basketball court, despite her absence. She became the first daughter of an active NBA player to be selected in the WNBA draft when she was selected 3rd overall by the Detroit Shock in 2003 after going crazy at Louisiana Tech University. The events that ensued were truly legendary. 4 All-Star selections, Rookie of the Year, and 3 WNBA titles in 2003, 2006, and 2008. She had an unparalleled rebounding game, and her skill and perseverance earned her every honor. Cheryl has concentrated on coaching and competing for women's sports since retiring in 2013 after playing abroad. She is still among the most successful players in WNBA history at the age of 44. An overlooked superstar whose contributions to the game merit far greater acknowledgement than they receive. Her narrative demonstrates that a father's guidance is not necessary for greatness. Sometimes all you need is the determination to go after it. Tamika Catchings. When it comes to WNBA legends, we must respect Tamika Devin Catchings' name. Tamika is the daughter of former NBA player Harvey Catchings and was born in Stratford, New Jersey on July 21, 1979. However, Tamika faced a problem unrelated to meeting expectations, in contrast to many children of professional athletes. Due to her severe hearing loss at birth, Shorty needed speech therapy and hearing aids for the entirety of her childhood. Tamika used her disability as motivation to work even harder instead of letting it define her. She excelled at the University of Tennessee, where she helped the team win the 1998 CAA championship without a loss. She then started a 16-year WNBA career with the Indiana Fever, solidifying her place among the best players the league has ever seen. 10 All-Star selections, 5 Defensive Player of the Year honors, 4 Olympic gold medals, and a 2012 WNBA title. Without a cap, her resume reads like a basketball fantasy. Tamika's induction into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in 2020 was the pinnacle of recognition for a career in which she defied expectations and disproved everyone. She continued to contribute to the game, though. At the age of 46, she is the general manager of the Indiana Fever and is still in charge of the Catch the Stars Foundation, which encourages young people to pursue their goals despite any challenges. The pressure to perform is intense when your father is well known for winning the 1991 NBA Slam Dunk Contest. However, Alexis Kai Alexi Brown, who was born in Boston, Massachusetts on October 27, 1994, has demonstrated throughout her career that she is much more than just Dee Brown's daughter. In 2018, Lexi was selected 9th overall by the Connecticut Sun following exceptional college careers at Duke and Maryland, where she was named an All-American. Her time in the WNBA has not been easy. She has played for several teams, such as the Chicago Sky and Minnesota Lynx, where she won that ring in 2021. Her biggest obstacle, though, may have been learning that she had Crohn's disease, which kept her out of action for a large chunk of the 2023 and 2024 seasons. As a 31-year-old basketball player for the Los Angeles Sparks, Lexi has accepted her position as one of the best three-point shooters in the league. She also chairs the Player Executive Committee of Athletes Unlimited Pro Basketball. Using her platform to dispel stereotypes and promote health awareness, she has been candid about the difficulties of being a Nepo baby in professional sports.
Honestly, the motto for us has been us against everybody. I mean, I knew we were underdogs coming into that, but we hang our hat on teamwork and defense, and I think that shows on both ends of the floor. Like, we play for each other.
Kalani Brown 8, so we need to correct what some people have been saying. Born in Slidell, Louisiana, on March 21, 1997, Kalani Brown is actually the daughter of former NBA champion P.J. Brown and Adrena D. Brown, a former coach and player in college, not D. Brown from the slam dunk competition. Before focusing on basketball, Kalani honed her skills in a variety of sports while growing up in an athletic family with siblings Brianna, Whitney, and Giovanni.
You know, I use the walk as a platform in itself just to show girls that you can have nails, you can have lashes, you can have the bundles and still be pretty and still play and still be a dog.
At 6 feet 7 inches tall, Kalani worked as a cook at Salmon High School and later at Baylor University, where she assisted in leading the team to the 2019 NCAA championship. The Los Angeles Sparks selected her 7th overall that year. Since then, she has played for the Dallas Wings and Atlanta Dream, winning a WNBA championship with the Wings in 2024. Kalani, who is currently 28 years old and a fan of the Phoenix Mercury, is well known for both her fire tunnel walk and her dominance in the paint.
What's the best advice your stepmom, Gabrielle Union, has given you?
Block out all of that hatred because none of it matters like at all. It took a long time for me to really get what that meant, but here I am.
Zaya Wade, the daughter of NBA player Dwyane Wade and Siobhan Funches, was born in Chicago, Illinois on May 29, 2007. Few stories in recent memory have garnered as much public attention as this one. Growing up in a loving blended family in Miami with siblings Zaire, Xavier, and Kavya, Zaya's quest for self-awareness would eventually garner international attention.
What was the best day you ever had?
Definitely the day that my name got legalized. Officially Zaya.
At the age of 12, Zaya came out as transgender in public in 2019. She became one of the most well-known young transgender advocates in America in 2023 after legally changing her name and gender with the steadfast support of her parents and stepmother, Gabrielle Union. Numerous young people who have been struggling with their own identities have been inspired by her bravery in the face of severe backlash, including ongoing anti-trans legislation across the nation. At the age of 18, Zaya has participated in multiple campaigns, walked in Paris Fashion Week, and continues to speak out for transgender rights with a maturity well beyond her years. Juri James, at the age of 11, Juri Nova James is already constructing an entire empire. Juri, the only daughter and youngest child of LeBron and Savannah James, was born in Cleveland, Ohio on October 22, 2014. She grew up in Los Angeles with her brothers Bronny and Bryce. Additionally, Juri is completely dominating the internet while her pops rule the basketball court. With more than 200,000 subscribers, her YouTube channel, All Things Juri, offers a variety of content, including fitness videos, baking guides, and glimpses into the daily lives of the James family. Juri has demonstrated that star power may run in the family with her own Instagram account and a captivating personality that frequently steals the show at public gatherings. However, Shorty is also an athlete in addition to being an influencer. Juri has become well known for her volleyball prowess, frequently sporting her father's number 6 jersey. She has demonstrated innate athletic ability in a variety of sports, including dance and football. Seeing Juri succeed has undoubtedly been one of the highlights of her father's life off the court, and he has talked extensively about the pleasures of being a girl dad. Sophia Pippen is more aware than most of the particular difficulties that come with being born into NBA royalty. Sophia is the youngest daughter of reality TV personality Larsa Pippen and NBA Hall of Famer Scottie Pippen. She was born in the United States on December 26, 2008. Sophia, who grew up in a famous family with siblings Scottie Jr., Preston, and Justin, had to deal with her parents' well-publicized divorce in 2021 while pursuing her own goals. Sophia competed on Dancing with the Stars Juniors in 2018 at the age of 9, showcasing her dancing skills to a national audience and placing 9th. Since then, while attending high school in Los Angeles and co-starring with her mother on The Real Housewives of Miami, she has been developing a modeling career that reportedly earns up to $2,500 per social media post. Sophia, who is now 17 years old, has decided to move in with her parents in Los Angeles in order to better pursue her career goals in entertainment. She keeps close ties with both sides of her family despite the difficulties caused by her parents' divorce, and she keeps using her well-known name to take advantage of opportunities that are all her own. Miara O'Neal. The expectations are extremely high when your father is one of the most dominant players in NBA history, Shaquille O'Neal. However, Miara Sanaa O'Neal, who was born in Miami, Florida, on May 1, 2006, is confronting them head-on and more. Growing up in Los Angeles with siblings Sharif, Amira, Shakir, Tahira, and Miles, Miara is the youngest daughter of Shaq and Shawnee Henderson. At 6 feet 4 inches, she inherited her father's commanding physical presence and used it to her advantage on the basketball court at Episcopal High School, where she was named a McDonald's All-American and won 2 All-State honors. Miara, now 19, and in her sophomore season as a forward for the Florida Gators, is displaying the kind of scoring and rebounding skills that suggest a WNBA future might be in the cards. Miara made headlines in 2023 when she committed to the University of Florida over other finalists, including LSU, her pops' alma mater. The decision demonstrated her independence and determination to forge her own path, even if it meant not following directly in Shaq's footsteps. Amira O'Neal Miara isn't the only O'Neal daughter with basketball skills, though. Amira Sanaa O'Neal, the second daughter of Shaquille O'Neal and Shawnee Henderson, was born in Los Angeles, California, on November 13, 2001, and she also pursued the sport that made her parents famous. Standing 6 feet 2 inches, Amira played forward at Crossroads School, winning all-state honors and averaging 17.2 points per game during her high school career. During the 2019 to 2020 season, she continued her education at her father's alma mater, LSU, before transferring to Texas Southern University to further her growth. After graduating from college at the age of 24, Amira left competitive basketball to look into coaching and business opportunities. In order to stay connected to the O'Neal legacy while leading an independent life on her own terms, she keeps a lower public profile than some of her siblings, but frequently posts family photos on social media. Tahira O'Neal is evidence that there are incredibly diverse ways to leave a lasting legacy. Not every child of an NBA legend chooses to pursue a career in basketball. Tahira, the eldest daughter of Shaquille O'Neal and his ex-girlfriend Arnetta Yardbore, was born in Orlando, Florida on July 18, 1996. Growing up in Houston, Texas, she prioritized academics over athletics and earned a magna cum laude degree in sociology and politics from Oglethorpe University in 2019. At the age of 29, Tahira is employed by PepsiCo as a communications analyst and social media marketing specialist, pursuing a career unrelated to basketball courts or championship rings. She is the most reserved of Shaq's children, choosing to avoid the attention that her well-known father inevitably draws. However, Tahira took on a more prominent role in 2025 when she became a board member of the Shaquille O'Neal Foundation and assisted in overseeing a $24 million youth complex project in Las Vegas. Her emphasis on establishing safe spaces for youth shows that you don't have to follow in your parents' footsteps in order to have a significant influence. Sometimes creating something completely new is the best way to honor a legacy.
Are we back? What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to be here and I'm so happy to be talking to you. This is long overdue. Life is just lifing. Life has changed a lot. So last talked to you guys and it's not where I thought it would be at all.
Seidel Curry Lee, born in Charlotte, North Carolina, on October 20th, 1994. Seidel Alicia. Curry Lee was surrounded by basketball greatness from an early age as the sister of Stephen and Seth Curry. However, Seidel chose to play volleyball instead of joining her brothers on the court, and she eventually won all-CIA honors at Elon University. Seidel, who is currently 31 years old, has made the transition to become a mother, podcaster, and influencer. She wed NBA player Damian Lee in 2018, and the two have 3 kids together. Motherhood, mental health, and the difficulties of raising a family in the NBA lifestyle are major topics of her writing. Most recently, Seidel revealed that she is expecting her 3rd child, an unexpected pregnancy that developed naturally after her first 2 children were conceived via IVF because of male factor infertility and low progesterone. Sometimes life is truly amazing. Her audience has responded favorably to her unvarnished candor about the difficulties of pregnancy, motherhood, and mental health, demonstrating that authenticity is frequently the most potent kind of influence. People respect her for being honest. Isela Samaya Arenas is carrying on the basketball tradition of her father, Gilbert Arenas, one of the most gifted and contentious players of his generation. Isela was born on December 24, 2005, and grew up with siblings Aaliyah, Hamley, Aloni, and Gia. She honed her skills at Sierra Canyon High School, where she set several three-point records and scored over 500 points as a freshman. The 6-foot guard, who was ranked 88th in her class, committed to Louisville in 2023. During the 2024-25 season, She averaged 4.2 points in 11.8 minutes per game while playing in 29 games as a freshman, prior to moving to Kansas State in 2025 to further her education. Drawing from her father's basketball heritage in Arizona, 20-year-old Izella is creating her own basketball legacy. Before being drafted into the league, he played there. Although her story is still in its early stages, it appears that the three-point shooting and scoring skills that made her pops famous have been passed on to the following generation. The family keeps the games. McKinley Randolph is another NBA star's daughter who is causing a stir at Louisville. Born in 2006 to Zach Randolph, a former NBA All-Star. Following her father's trade to the Clippers, McKinley grew up in Los Angeles and attended Sierra Canyon School, where she became a five-star recruit renowned for her forward play and rebounding abilities, which mirrored her father's renownedly gritty style. The energy of that Zebo is distinct. McKinley, who is 6 feet tall, committed to Louisville in 2024 as the 23rd best prospect in her class, picking the Cardinals over Michigan State and Notre Dame. She has trained with Kobe Bryant and taken part in USA basketball programs. As she advances her career, she finds inspiration in a number of NBA greats. McKinley, a sophomore at Louisville, is well-positioned to make a big March Madness impact. Her daughter seems prepared to follow in her father's footsteps and succeed in women's college basketball. Her father gained notoriety in the NBA by being tough and determined. She really did have that dog in her. Riley Curry. We must conclude with what may be the most well-known daughter introduction in NBA history. Born in Charlotte, North Carolina, on July 19, 2012, Riley Elizabeth Curry won over millions of hearts when, at the age of 2, she interrupted her father Stephen Curry's 2015 NBA Finals press conferences with her cute antics. Riley became instantly famous after those viral moments, but she has since matured. Riley, the eldest daughter of Stephen and Aisha Curry, is currently 13 years old. She grew up in a loving, devout household with her siblings Ryan, Cannon, and Caius. With the same endearing personality that made her famous as a toddler, she has grown into a teen fashion icon and performer, pursuing interests in acting and music. Riley is obviously forging her own identity, but her public persona is still strongly linked to her parents' business. In family images and videos, she reflects her father's personality, preserving strong ties with family members while navigating puberty in the spotlight. As of early 2026, Riley is still concentrating on artistic endeavors, emulating the warmth and charm that have made the Curry family one of the most cherished in professional sports. I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, you can view more similar content by clicking on one of the boxes that are currently playing on your screen.